Hey y'all, did you miss me? Belvee Fetters here. Alright y'all, so tonight I'm going to tell you a story about my very first boyfriend, and his name was Clynis. Alright y'all, so I met Clynis when I was about 16 years old, and I was working down at the Price right outside of town, and Clynis came in one night, and he was wearing his army fatigue uniform. It was about 10 o'clock at night. I didn't have no makeup on, and he came in and told me I was the prettiest girl he's ever seen. And he had a big old wad of chewing tobacco right in the center of his lip, and I just thought to myself, my God, I'm going to kiss that man's face off. And I got off about 5 minutes later, and I met him in the parking lot. And I know what y'all think, but I ain't no hussy. But I did let him take me down to the Wendy's buffet. Alright, but that's neither here nor there, and it doesn't matter about us going to the Wendy's buffet. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of the story. Alright, so this one weekend, Clynis, he was off on leave from the army, and him and I, we met down at the creek, and we were going frogging together. Had on a pair of white snake leather cowboy boots and some tight jeans, and he's looking real handsome. And after we went frogging, it's late at night, and he is taking me back home to Mommy's house. He used to have this old Z28 Camaro, and one of his friends blew the engine out, so he had to trade it in with no engine. And so the only thing he could afford was this old, just kind of a beat-up, mangy Dodge Colt. And so he wasn't super comfortable driving it yet, y'all, because he'd only had it for maybe 2 weeks. And so he's driving around them curvy Kentucky roads. And so he's going around this big turn, and Clynis had a big old wad of chewing tobacco right in his lip, just like I like. And he's spin off the road a little bit, and the front side of the car nosedives right into a ditch. And so Clynis, he's throwing it reverse drive, just trying to rock a car back and forth, trying to get it up out of this ditch. And there ain't nobody's on these old roads, and all of a sudden we see some headlights pull up behind us. And turns out it was a police officer, and his name was Ronald Wright. Ronald gets that old flashlight out, and he comes up, shines it right inside of Clynis' window, and he says, "Sir, I'm going to need you to step out of the car, please." Now at this point, Clynis, he's feeling a little bit embarrassed, and he just wants to get out of this ditch by his own self, like any self-respecting man would. And so Clynis says, "No thanks, officer. Everything's fine here. We just trying to get up out of this ditch. There ain't no trouble here. We're all right." But old Ronald, he wasn't taking no for an answer, and he said, "Sir, I'm gonna need you to step out of the car right now, please." Clynis, he just working that shifter back and forth, and he says, "Oh, no thanks, officer. I ain't getting out of this car right now, okay? I got this under control. It's just a simple ditch." Y'all, I'm in a side seat, and I'm starting to sweat a little bit, and I said, "Clynis, maybe we should get out of the car." He's saying, "We should get out, maybe we should get out." And so Clynis says, "Belvee, baby, relax. We ain't criminals. We ain't getting up out of this car." And you know me, I was taught to respect the law. But old Ronald, y'all, he's dead set on getting me and Clynis up out this car. And he shines that flashlight right inside, and he said, "I said, get out the car." Clynis says, "No thanks, sir. I got this. This is my last time in reverse. I got it. I promise everything's okay. I just need to get her home before curfew." He says, "Now, get out the car now, or you're going to jail." Clynis steps up out of the car, and he tries to explain to the officer what's going on. He says that he's a man in uniform. And that's when old Ronald Wright reaches for his nightstick. And y'all, what happened in the next several seconds? I see Ronald reaching for his nightstick. All of a sudden, Clynis jumps in, and he gives him the old hip toss. He grabs him by the shoulders, and he kind of puts one foot behind Ronald's one foot, and then he just kind of checks him with his hip like that. Next thing I know, Ronald's laying on the ground, and me and Clynis are taking off running through the woods. Now, I had on my hiking boots still since we just got back from frogging, but Clynis, he had on his white snakeskin cowboy boots. We ran about a good mile, and we kept checking behind us, and we ain't never seen old Ronald coming for us, and we didn't know how, but somehow we was outrunning him. So we finally make it to the twin bridges in the center of town, and my heart's pounding out my chest, and Clynis is saying, "It's all right, Belvee, everything's okay. You ain't going to jail." Just kept thinking about all them food that they make you eat in jail, and they probably don't have any cornbread, and you gotta eat a lot of Spam, and I don't eat Spam. About having to shower with other ladies, and ain't getting to hug my mommy, and so I just broke down right on them bridges. "Belvee, we gotta go. We can't stop here." So we take off running across them bridges, and I just remember Clynis' white snakeskin boots just click, 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 click. click like that running across the woods. Finally made it up to the top of the holler, and we went to my cousin's house. Pal and her sister Spicy lived there, and it was late, and we didn't want to wake them up, so we just went in and laid down on the couch. So the next morning, we got a call from Clynis's dad, and turns out that old Ronald Wright had taken Clynis's car and towed it back to his house. He told Clynis that if he wants that car back, he can come on down to his house and come and get it. And so that's when Clynis's dad let us know that the reason old Ronald never caught us that night was because old Ronald Wright, he only had one leg. He's a one-legged police officer. And y'all, the best that we could guess is that when old Clynis tossed Ronald the hip toss, we guess his leg just kind of disengaged or something. Y'all, I don't know if it necessarily plumb fell off, but it definitely wasn't operational anymore. So needless to say, Clynis, he felt pretty awful about that, and so we went down to old Ronald's house. Maybe that we should make him up like a fruit basket, and so we did. And we went down and apologized. Clynis just explained to Ronald that he was trying to get me home before curfew because he didn't want my daddy being mad at him. And y'all, somehow old Ronald Wright just forgave us like that, and there's no hard feelings. And that was the time that I almost went to jail from being a part of dismembering a police officer. Alright, I'll see y'all next time. And just remember, if you want to catch up on any other Belvee stories I might have shared with y'all in the past, or got any cute little old folk friends that don't know how to use the Snapchat, and you want to share with them one of my little tidbits, just go on ahead and type into Google Belvee Fetters.